Good morning everybody, and we are at the iCreate venue in Ahmedabad. And Atul ji, आप बताइए कैसा चल रहा है आज का दिन?
Good. So we are here to cover a competition for startups called Evangelize, and this is our first visit to this lovely campus. So let's start by taking you around and showing off a little bit of what it is and what it does. This is a campus which was set up in 2013 by the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi, and it was inaugurated in 2018, this particular building over here, along with Benjamin Netanyahu. So there is an Indian-Israeli collaboration that this particular place has. Lovely architecture behind. Don't ask me what it does, right? I don't think there's too much of science in it. It probably is just art. But otherwise, a lovely campus, if you can see. Reminds me a little bit about IIM Bangalore, which has got the same cement kind of concrete, bare concrete kind of structure. Two campuses inside. So one is iCreate, which is basically focused more on the electric vehicle space. A lot of startups have been incubated over here. And there's also a Center for Mining Excellence. So this place is jointly owned by the Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation, and GMDC wants to do some work in the mining area, but that's not very functional as of now. Today we are going to have a lot of industry people who are visiting to look at what work the startups have done. And like in a real life Shark Tank, you might expect some of them to get funded today. We'll cross our fingers and see if that happens. But it will be interesting to observe what's happening. And we're going to check out a few of these startups today.
iCreate has that distinction of being sector agnostic and not being affiliated to one particular educational institute. It gives it that freedom to engage with all kind of institutes. When you look at it, it has the first focus, which is entrepreneur first. So when iCreate looks at an individual who comes to them, iCreate doesn't look at it from actually a tick mark for their records or their actually performance count. It looks at it whether that entrepreneur is really ready for it, whether he's at the right time in his life or in the technology landscape, and gives the right advice.
Okay, so we've got Raghu with us, and Raghu is the creator of these amazing looking cycles. Orita?
So myself, I am a mechanical engineer background, Andhra University. We have been building few vehicles for motorsports from 2015 in college. We used to 2-wheel, 3-wheel, 4-wheel form factors, made some electric vehicles. So when we started, we always wanted to make something more utility than recreational, because that's where people see value.
Correct.
And we can increase the adoption of this form factor. But on the commercial side, there is a big business case for the last mile delivery, where is high cargo density but short travel distances, or low payload for high range, being in same turning radius, or the same radius in the whole day. So hyperlocal and Amazon, Flipkart use cases. So we have been doing projects with those kind of people. So that's a big space. We are trying to get more products in that space, as well as more products on the family side. So we sell mostly through our website oritabikes.com and also through some of our dealers, mostly in Bangalore, Mumbai and Delhi. We slowly want to expand throughout India. We price somewhere around average 45,000 for consumers, and that goes on based upon your battery variant you pick. We have a range max up to 100 kilometers in just one battery, the largest available in the segment.
So Raghu, thank you very much for being with Plug-in India.
Yeah.
And all the best for your venture.
Yeah. Thank you.
We've got Abhishek here with us, and the company that he runs is called Motorama. And what is great about this company is that they're making a motor which does not use neodymium magnets, right? So for those of you who are not very clear about the picture, today 40% of your motor cost is coming from magnets, even for Make in India motors, which are being imported from China. So you have obviously got supply chain issues, but more importantly, there are also cost issues, right? So what Abhishek and the Motorama team has done is they've substituted those rare earth magnets with simple ferrite magnets, which are made in India by Indian companies, right? And that results in the Atmanirbhar that our Prime Minister wants. And it also results in a fair amount of cost savings.
if we consider the Chinese motor in comparison to our, it's going to be somewhere around 20 to 25% cost reduction will happen with our motor. After repairing 700 motors, we have also witnessed small issues like thimble, or like the wire breakage, or the bearing problem, the winding problem, demagnetization of magnet because of the heat of winding, and adhesive problem. So there's no standard or majority.
But out of 700, which is the top?
Winding failure because of the overloading condition, and out of the 700 motors what we have repaired, majority of them are L3 category e-rickshaw, because that's more matured.
Correct.
And two-wheelers have started coming in now. We have repaired motors for Yulu, we have repaired for Bounce also. So yeah, so they have started associations with us now.
Right.
So currently what we have right now is a pedal assist. It's a direct drive motor. It's 250 watt currently, and the torque is roughly 6 Newton meter throughout 0 to 300 RPM. And in the next variant what we have already started working at, so we are coming with planetary gear in order to improvise the stall torque requirement. So 250 we can go up to 500 or 1000 watt also.
Thank you, and we're hoping to see your product on a lot of electric vehicles and appliances. Wish you all the best for your startup.
Thank you.
So we've got Gajendra from Nakshatra, and Nakshatra is not the motorcycle manufacturer, but this little baby that you see over here, which is called an axial flow motor or axial flux motor, is what they are doing. So Gajendra, tell us what exactly is an axial flux motor?
Well, something which is different from the existing radial flux motors. The direction of the magnetic flux is parallel to the shaft, and you see it has shorter magnetic flux length. So overall the motor is more efficient, and if you see the torque, which is the pickup required for a bike, it is dimensionally 1 power higher. Maybe in radial you get d to the power squared, and here it is cube. So you get higher torque, and the torque is something 30% more compared to a radial motor.
Okay, so why has the world not switched over to axial flux if all these advantages have been there?
That is something interesting, because the very first motor that was built was axial, in fact, and there are certain challenges in the manufacturing
So
side.
can you talk about the challenges?
Okay, so for the radial motors, if we talk about the counterparts, the stamping, which is the electrical steel used, laminations, so that is quite easy to manufacture. Here that is the biggest challenge, and the second challenge is the maintaining the air gap. The air gap is maintained radially, so the material cannot expand and touch remove the air gap. But in case it is just the bending that is keeping the
So in
air
an
gap.
axial flux, agar aapka shaft ka tolerance is not right, then
Maybe the rotor, if it bends due to heating or with the age, so that is one challenge.
in weight terms, what kind of weight advantage is there?
They are, like, simply put, if you're not using fancy materials, still they are 30% lesser weight, and the power is higher.
And what about copper usage? Is it the same as radial flux, or
Yeah,
is it
copper remains mostly same.
Copper
The
remains.
magnets are reduced. The use of magnets is reduced in this. And there are certain topologies you can go. Simply you can save 50% magnets, because you can use both the sides of the magnet simply.
Thank you, Gajendra, for being with us, and hoping to see your product in the market very soon.
Soon enough.
तो अब हमारे साथ है निकुंज भाई, और ये अहमदाबाद के ही हैं, और इनका एक बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रोडक्ट है मारुत ई ट्रैक्टर। तो ये एक 15 हॉर्स पावर के ट्रैक्टर जितना कंपटीशन में है, और जो भी काम एक 15 हॉर्स पावर का ट्रैक्टर कर सकता है, इनका भी ट्रैक्टर कर सकता है। ये खुद किसान हैं, और साथ में इनका एक सोलर फेंसिंग वगैरह वगैरह टाइप के सॉल्यूशंस भी वो मार्केट में पिछले 5-10 साल से इन्वॉल्व हैं। तो निकुंज भाई वेलकम। और मेरे को एक बात बताइए कि इस ट्रैक्टर को क्या बोलते हैं, खासियत क्या है इस ट्रैक्टर की, इसमें क्या स्पेशल है?
मेन स्पेशल ये है कि मार्केट में इलेक्ट्रिक ट्रैक्टर अभी 2-3 कंपनियों का आ रहा है, लेकिन उन लोगों का मेन बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट ये था कि 15 एचपी का जो ट्रैक्टर बनाने का है, तो हम 10 किलोवाट की मोटर डालें तो किलोवाट को कन्वर्ट एचपी में करो तो ऑटोमेटिक 15 एचपी हो जाएगा। पीछे का पोर्शन सेम वैसे ही रहने दो। और उसका मेन नेगेटिव पॉइंट ये जाता है कि अगर 10 किलोवाट की मोटर है तो उसको आपको 5-6 घंटा चलाना है, तो बैटरी बैक आपको 25-30 किलोवाट का, और 2-3 या 5 साल के बाद बैटरी बैक खराब भी होता है तो 25 किलोवाट का कॉस्टिंग भी हायर जाएगा। हमारा मेन बेनिफिट इसमें यही है कि हमने 4 साल जो R&D की वो ओनली 3 किलोवाट BLDC मोटर पे हमने 15 HP का टॉर्क जनरेट किया। उसके लिए हमने अलग अलग मोटर के साथ एक गियर बॉक्स, बीच में पीछे जो ड्राइव एंड व्हील है उसमें हमने अलग से एक्स्ट्रा गियर अटैच किए और टॉर्क ज़्यादा जनरेट किया। इससे मेन बेनिफिट ये है कि लो मोटर है, मोटर पावर लो है, तो आप छोटा बैटरी बैक, हमने 11 किलोवाट का यूज़ किया, उससे आपको 6 से 8 घंटा बैटरी बैकअप मिलेगा, तो वो आपको 6 से 8 घंटा काम कर सकते हैं। और बैटरी बैक छोटा है तो आप मान लो अगर किसान कोई लेता है उसको 5 साल बाद भी रिप्लेस करना पड़े तो कहाँ 25 का कॉस्टिंग, कहाँ 11 का कॉस्टिंग, आधा हो जाएगा। हमने एक कंट्रोलर ओनली जो केली कंपनी का यूज किया है, वही एक इम्पोर्टेड है, बाकी सारा 95
कंट्रोलर है वो?
नहीं, ओनली कंट्रोलर,
व्हीकल कंट्रोलर।
हाँ।
अच्छा।
मोटर के लिए जो कंट्रोलर आता है ना वो हाँ, ओनली कंट्रोलर ही बाहर का है, आउट ऑफ इंडिया, बाकी सारे पार्ट्स यहाँ ही है।
अपना जो नॉर्मल ट्रैक्टर आता है 15 HP का, वो करीब 2.5 लाख के आसपास
हाँ,
आता है।
2.5 लाख।
तो आपका ऑन रोड आपका क्या लगता है कि
5.5 तक हम किसानों को दे पाएंगे।
अच्छा, सब मिलाकर
हाँ।
GST और डीलर मार्जिन,
हाँ,
फेम
डीलर
सब्सिडी तो इसमें नहीं मिलता आज के दिन।
फेम सब्सिडी अभी तक गवर्नमेंट ने जारी नहीं किया है। फेम में ट्रैक्टर वर्ड्स नहीं है, बस वगैरह सब है। ट्रैक्टर आ जाएगा, अभी ऐसी बात हो रही है, अब कब उसका आ जाए तब सब्सिडी आएगी, या फिर नॉर्मल कोई स्टेट में अलग से इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल की सब्सिडी हो तो उसका लाभ मिलेगा किसी को। डीजल ट्रैक्टर 15 से 20 HP तक का जो मार्केट में आ रहा है, 2.25 से 2.5 लाख तक का आ रहा है। अब 2.5 लाख उनकी कॉस्टिंग गिनो, और उसका रनिंग कॉस्ट है पर आवर 1 लीटर के करीब डीजल कंज्यूम करता है, ठीक है। अब 90 रुपीज़ प्राइस है, 1 लीटर में कम भी अगर 900 ml लेता है तो हम 80 रुपीज़ पकड़ के चले तो 1 आवर उसका रनिंग कॉस्ट है 80, और उसके सामने हमारा जो ट्रैक्टर है 4 घंटे में नॉर्मल होम में चार्जिंग हो जाता है। 11 किलोवाट की बैटरी है तो आपका, और 6 घंटा चलता है तो आपका रनिंग पर घंटे का कॉस्ट 10 रुपये आएगा, ठीक है। अब लिथियम बैटरी की लाइफ रहती है आपकी 15,000 से 18,000 आवर, ठीक है। 2500 से 3000 साइकिल होती है। आप हमारे एक साइकिल में 6 घंटा चलता है, तो आप अब मिनिमम भी पकड़ लो 15,000 घंटा ये ट्रैक्टर चलेगा तो 1 घंटे में हमारा कॉस्टिंग था 10 रुपीज़, यानी 1.5 लाख आपको जब से ट्रैक्टर लिया, बैटरी मान लो उसकी लाइफ चली 3-4 साल तक, आप 1.5 लाख चार्जिंग कॉस्ट आएगा, 5.5 का ट्रैक्टर लिया, ऑल ओवर लाइफ में 7 लाख का खर्चा हुआ। सामने डीजल है, अगर डीजल को आप 15,000 चलाओगे 15,000 घंटा तो आपका डीजल का 12 लाख तक होगा, और 2.5 लाख का आपने लिया था।
और आपने ये सब में मेंटेनेंस की बात ही नहीं की।
मेंटेनेंस तो
डीजल इंजन का मेंटेनेंस है वो तो बहुत ज्यादा आएगा आपको, उसका ऑयल, उसका फिल्टर, जो कि इलेक्ट्रिक में नहीं आने वाला है। मेरी उम्मीद ये रहेगी कि 2023 में ये ट्रैक्टर हम अपने खेत में लेके जाएंगे,
आ जाएगा,
ठीक है। थैंक यू निकुंज भाई।
थैंक
We've got Saurabh with us, who is also based out of Pune. It's an electric scooter with a small engine that comes along with it, right? A
Yes.
generator, if you want to call
Yes.
it.
Going from like IC to pure EV, it's not a right solution. We thought there should be a bridge between it. That's what we are trying to achieve here. And as far as polluting, so compared to the pure IC engine, it is very less very less polluting, because 85% of the time in the life cycle of this vehicle, the vehicle will run on the battery. Only 10 to 15% of the time when someone wants to go like for a detour or they forget to charge their vehicle and so on and so forth, then only the battery, then only the generator will need it to support the battery. Otherwise the vehicle will run on the battery.
What is the weight penalty of the generator? How much does that weigh?
So weight penalty is addressed by the reducing the battery weight, because we are reducing the battery size by 60%.
How much is your battery size right now?
So 1.6 kilowatt.
Okay, and genset, what's
Genset is only wattage.
or horsepower, whatever.
So it's like 2 HP.
2 HP is again like 1.5 kilowatts.
Yeah, 1.5 kilowatts.
So combined together, you got about 3.1 kWh on not
Yes.
3. You can't say kWh because this is
Yeah,
1.5
but
kilowatt,
still if you
yeah.
combine like 4.6 or the 4 kilowatt with other high speed EVs, it's less than that. So that
So what's the weight of the generator?
so weight of the generator is 8 kgs
Okay.
and the battery
And
is
it
around
runs on
12
petrol?
kg. right now this runs on the petrol. The vehicle will run only 10 to 15 times on the generator. So if your regular IC engine needs a servicing after every 3 to 4 months, this will need only once in a year, because this will not be used that frequently. If you are like not having a good habit of charging the vehicle regularly and you are running the generator or the vehicle running on the generator very frequently, then obviously there will be a maintenance cost.
If I run it only on generator, what kilometer per liter equivalent do I get?
Yeah, so that is also interesting part. As this is a generator, it always run on the constant RPM and constant speed.
Best efficiency.
Yeah, so almost twice efficiency you can get compared to the existing IC
So
engine.
compared to for this scooter, kilometer per liter,
So per kilometer, 80 kilometer you can get
80 kilometers
per liter.
Plus.
I will just manually switch it off right now for you. Just need to be careful. Don't accelerate because it will run. Keep on the brake.
It's training at your racket and just mic with
Yeah.
Now, after all that racket of the IC engine, we will go back to Mother Nature and ride it on pure electric mode. So one of the things that kind of is a bit uncanny is that as you change your speed, the engine RPM remains the same. So that's not something that you're used to in Activa territory. So it takes some amount of getting used to, right? So
Yeah.
that's a kind of feedback. I don't know, good, bad, whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? But you generally tend to kind of expect an RPM change when you're decelerating. So that doesn't happen here. So that feedback does not come to the driver that I've decelerated.
Exactly.
You know? And that signals probably people keep on looking at you like, why the fellow racing or something like that. Right?
No. So I'll just add one point. So as you see, this is not a finished article. So once the final version will be ready, the generator will not make this much noise. It will be very compact, almost noise free. Almost, but there will be still noise. So user can feel the generator is on.
Okay. Much better in battery. All the best for your venture, right? And
Thank
I
you.
hope you help in EV adoption. We will help people make a lot more noise about your scooter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? But it's much better in the electric mode.
Yeah, definitely.